pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. TTC Vice Chairperson Brock Gibson.
Here.
TTC member Amanda Schwint, she emailed. TTC member Whitney Tucker.
Here.
TTC member Rose Ani.
Here.
TTC member Rebecca Monia.
Here.
Board Liaison Joe Steiger.
Here.
Chamber of Commerce Representative Dina Kreitler.
Here.
St. Genevieve County Representative Corey Ford. Here. We have a quorum.
Sign
You remember you did
it. Absent.
We'll have to. Brock, are you being the acting chairperson?
It was for April, because these are May's minutes.
Have I missed a meeting? No, I don't think I missed it.
They didn't have a quorum, too.
We didn't vote last month on anything.
Why does the note say absent Brock Gibson?
Would have been for April's meeting.
Brock, I said the same thing. I was confused, but I got it. Yeah, that's what I.
Maybe.
Yeah, you
We
weren't
didn't
here
take any
in
minutes
May.
last month.
You had a different meeting or something. There was one you weren't here for.
Really? I remember.
Yeah, okay, maybe so. Move to approve the agenda.
Okay, yeah, let's move, yeah,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye. It's gonna be a real stain on your record, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like a tardy, I mean, how many of those do I get? And
Move to approve the minutes of May.
Noting that Brock was absent.
Yes.
Second.
approved, all in favor?
Aye.
Financial report, let's look at that.
I got a lot of good expenditures. Just for some clarity, CTM Media is our rack cards. And I also have taken out they have little TV screens above their rack cards, and that commercial I did for St. Gen, I have that playing during that. So that's our monthly or quarterly installment for that. Registration 1,000, is that incoming? Huh. Oh, that was for the TTC grant for the foundation for the festival. Jay Rudney is our manages our website, and we basically pay them per year in installments to kind of manage and be able to update the SEO, things like that, and do little things that we need them to do.
Who is that? I'm just trying to follow.
Yeah, sorry. So we were
Oh, right here.
CTM and
Okay.
then Foundation and
Thanks.
Jay Redney.
Okay.
O'Neill Septic, Amanda had sent an email about that. That was for the French Heritage Festival. But you won't see that again. I put in the wrong line item. Main Street card services. Main Street signs, 7,000. So we put in that order for the wayfinding signs. Those should be in next week. We helped TrailNet out with $1,000 for that. Classic Rock, we've been doing stuff. So a lot of the stuff that's coming up, out Royal Publishing, things like that. I explained that in the email, but basically we have an allotment that was supposed to go to the MMG matching grant, and I put it all in our main what would you call it, like our main budget material, and so I was trying to smooth that out by moving stuff to the TTC fund, and after I was doing it, I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. So anyway, so that's why we have some things coming out there.
What was it on 613, that Royal Publishing? What was that, $300? What was that?
It was for For like the backs of the programs for the softball game. So I took one out for the state title baseball game and state title softball game.
Like Visit St. Jen.
Yeah, just advertisement for the families for that. So that was what came out there. Classic Rock 93.1. We've been doing pretty much on a yearly schedule with them now to do live remotes to do their, Kaylee's Uncorked and just regular commercials that run. So that's what that was for. And then McDaniel's Marketing, they did a press release
For the brand.
for the branding. Yeah, once we launched the brand, we did a press release, and apparently that made it all the way out to California. That's how Don Pritchard even heard about it. His friend in LA said, "Hey, you guys are getting some press out here." And so, yeah, interesting stuff. So that worked out pretty good. So that's our expenditures there. I'm going to try to keep it tighter. I guess what I'm trying to say with this is I want to not just put these little chunks into the TTC stuff and keep it all pretty legible instead of you seeing like a bunch of different little chunk pieces that all come out. But I am still learning how to like manage my 3 buckets of money. I have a few line items, and I'm trying to work that out. Like, okay, whoops, I didn't take this out when I should have, and so anyways, this gets a little confusing, but I'm working on it. So
I have a strange question. I have an alarm going off at work and need to leave.
okay.
So can I just go? Do we need to like vote me out?
Yeah.
No, I think
so. I think
you're
you're
sure you're good, and I think we still have a quorum, so
Good luck.
we should be fine.
So, Aaron, I do have a question on the porta potty thing, just for curiosity. So did you put that back into your budget?
No, because like
That's the wrong thing.
basically, it was more like I put it into TTC because I didn't allot money from TTC that was supposed to go, like I overspent in my budget where TTC's fund should have come in. So basically I was just trying to, that funding from TTC is supposed to just be allotted to that part of the budget. So it's going to sound complicated, but basically I was just trying to, I can keep it all within my budget, but it's going to show that I went over, and I was just trying to smooth it out by using the TTC money, but I think that's still going to apply no matter what. And so,
Okay, because it looks like TTC money was paid for porta potties, which is not what it's supposed to be.
yeah, for
We're
sure.
not supposed to use that money. So like if we did it for one event, I don't want other events to come back and say, well, you did it for one event, I want porta potties for my event.
Right.
And you already did it once, so.
Well, and what's going on too is, we did the budget in July last year, and then, it gets adopted, and then I'm still coming up with my plan. And so I have a big bucket that says marketing, but I haven't broken that down into like, this year I want to break it down to like event enhancement and stuff like that, so that we have a designated line item so I've been taking stuff from the marketing line item because we haven't broken that down. And so, yeah, once I put that on there, I immediately went like, that's going to be a problem. And so, I see where my error was like pretty immediately, but I can't undo it right now. So it's like, that's going to just reflect bad for a moment, and then we'll get things.
Just as
back
long
on
as
track.
people don't start asking us to pay for their porta potties.
Absolutely. I will nip it in the bud.
And then my other question is on the J. Rundy, are we going to continue to use that company? You're
I
not,
like them.
Okay,
Yeah,
you do.
I think they're the ones who did the new website. I think they're good. I don't know of any other ones. Right
I just
now.
didn't know, I know it like earlier, like when your 2 previous tourism directors were here, there was a little bit of like situation with them at that time, and so I'm glad to hear that you were.
Yeah, I think they.
Okay,
I
I just
really
was
like-
just question.
Oh yeah, no. It just to expound upon it, I think Jim is really great. They're super responsive,
That's awesome.
and I don't see any reason to move on from them. So.
Okay.
On the bed tax on the other side, it looks like we might be a little short. I mean, you never know what July is gonna bring, so. But it looks like 25 was gonna leave us maybe just a little short as far as that goes. But still, not bad compared to a couple of years past, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, it looks like, it looks like we might be at like,
Right.
It'd be right at it, 31.
yeah, so, yeah, I don't know, I've been kind of looking at the Placer AI data and stuff like that. We're like on par, visitation wise, with last year. We might be like 2% down or something like that. And I don't know what to, equivocate that to, you know what I mean? If that's like,
I was gonna ask how often you get that data,
I can pull it up pretty much whenever. It's just when I have time to.
and how like far back can you, all right, how recent can you?
Oh yeah, I can go as far back as 2017.
Well, actually, how recent, I'm sorry.
Oh, recent, pretty much, I can get the data from today, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
I think, would you guys agree that it might be good to have like that in our report?
Be interesting to see what every once in a while.
yeah, I know, yeah.
I mean,
for
maybe
sure.
just have like the trend, and if we're trending that over the,
Yeah.
and maybe on that report, we have the trend over the years and then the current month, you know?
Yeah, and then that way we can
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, because
And current month, the previous year, same month, you know?
we've been talking about the past few meetings about just how hard it is to kind of like understand, you
Yeah.
know, the way that the money comes in for this.
Yeah, these, I don't
To
think
kind
they'll
of
match.
project- yeah.
They won't match because when we pay this, it's, you know, 'cause we pay the tax too, and when you pay it and when those people are here, it's two different things. So they will not, they may not coincide too well.
Well, what's going to be interesting, I just got in touch with Airbnb, like I just turned in this stuff today. So basically, with Airbnb, I turned in our transient tax ordinance so that they can start taking that out for people.
Right
You
now,
know.
they have to voluntarily pay that quarterly tax.
Yeah.
The platform doesn't automatic, like the Airbnb platform or the VRBO platform, software platform, doesn't automatically recognize that St. Gen has a bed tax. So the vendors, the merchants have to calculate that on their own and then submit that to the state on.
But yeah.
In the city.
Yeah.
Correct.
And looking at what they collect from Missouri, I mean, Hannibal, they collect Hannibal's tax, St. Charles County, St. Louis, Kansas City. So they can do it.
And what do they do? Just send you a check once a month or something?
Yeah, I would think well, I don't know exactly. Of course, when you're talking to the initial people, you know, they're like, well, we've got to escalate this up. And so I haven't heard back from them. But I would imagine it would be like a monthly sort of like direct deposit into the city's account.
The merchants pay the city directly or all to the state and then the state reimburses the city.
Does that might
So-
be how it goes?
So I don't know what ends up coming here, because I've kind of talked to Airbnb and I've tried to talk to some folks here in general, just about like because I know how much taxes that are coming out and that people are paying through Airbnb or bars, but I know that we have to physically come down and we write a check for whatever it is,
So you're paying
1%, or whatever it is, 2%.
Yeah, right. So what?
So
Yeah.
will that go away with what we're trying to do here as well?
Yeah, you won't have to do that anymore. You won't have to do the self sort of reporting. Airbnb should collect it and disperse it for you guys and add it into your pricing
Yeah.
evenly. So I'm hoping it'll.
Which would be a lot better for this whole thing
Oh my
and the
goodness.
merchants as well, because it's
I think we'll see it, the payment go up by 25%.
for sure.
For people that don't pay,
Yeah.
that, you know, just don't do the right bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Right. And what I'm hoping is we'll see some sort of like method show up in
Yeah.
this, you know, where, oh, okay,
Maybe.
monthly, this is,
Because
yeah,
right now,
yeah,
it's
maybe,
just-
see.
Out of the goodness of a merchant's heart.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no mechanism.
Yeah,
Our city treasurer and assistant city administrator, they look every once in a while to see who's listing properties on Airbnb and VRBO and make sure that they are making payments, but they don't know how many people stayed,
yeah,
you know? So
Right.
I mean, if you had one guest or 100 guests,
yeah.
you know, City Hall doesn't know how many guests you had. So, I think that'd be good to move on to that, but I don't know if you want to approve these.
I wonder, I think it'd be interesting to see what percentage of that fund is coming from which entities, which type, like, so Airbnb, what, of the money brought in by the tax, which, where is it coming from? If Airbnb and VRBO and, are there any others?
Parties,
Yeah,
camping sites,
yeah,
and
yeah,
regular hotels.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see that, and it'd really be interesting to see the trend of that too.
Move
Okay,
to approve
yeah.
the financial report.
Second?
I think so. It's just a report, we're not voting on the money. Just trying to be thankful.
Yeah.
Oh. I want to go.
Rebecca, in a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? All right, moved.
Aaron, on that, but when we're talking about that bed tax, I don't know if you want to bring that up now or not about the governor.
Sure, yeah, so, HB House Bill 199 had the transient tax bill for St. John County and St. John City. Basically, it was adopted that we can go to residents here and ask that we first institute a transient tax in the county, and then that we can raise the transient tax here in the city.
So we got like approval to vote.
Yeah, we got approval to vote. Yeah, we basically a state statute that basically says St. John
Yeah.
City and County can raise it to, and
Are there limits?
there's no limits, but I'll say like,
Oh, yeah, 6%.
is it 6%? Oh, okay, the top's out there? That's interesting because I feel like St. Louis is like 8% or something like that. But I
Not
don't
the
know.
way our bill was rated, it was up to 6%.
Oh, it's up to 6%. Okay. Well, I know Perry County, countywide is 6%.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're a pretty good barometer to, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to talk to Trish and see how they were able to get that, get voters to buy into that. But I do think it, I don't know. I don't know if it's us who has to decide how much we want to raise that to, but I feel like we'll be the ones kind of
Yeah,
pushing
city
that.
council. And I think the first time it can go on the ballot is probably November ballot, maybe the first time that it could go on.
Yeah, it officially goes into law August 28th.
So if it's on the November ballot, do you think we could get it on the November ballot?
I don't know what the cutoff date is for sure. So.
Yeah, we need to.
It's August, it's sometime in August.
Yeah.
So that means the city council has to approve the percentage that they want to go up.
2% now, so.
The county can only go up to a certain,
To start.
to start. Only
I think it's 2, wasn't it?
I thought it was only 1%, that maybe it's 2.
This is a new bill, so it might change. the
It
way-
might have.
Yeah, I think with the last bill, we could only go up to 1% in the county just in general. So I'm not sure if there's a step.
Corey, can you look into that?
I'm taking
with the-
notes right now.
Okay, for the county?
Okay, well, I think we have a guest for the public comments, right?
Yeah.
Matt,
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you all for having me. My name is Matt Clark, and I work for the YMCA. I'm in a vice president capacity, and I work in what we call our Southeast District. It's just a region. So I work with executives and staff in Red Bud, Illinois, Columbia, Illinois, South County, Festus, and YMCA, the Ozarks Trout Lodge in Camp Lakewood. And I have been working with the commissioners on a partnership for the community center. And so I know that's made some headlines lately, and just wanted to come and introduce myself and kind of talk a little bit about we're in a transition phase right now, and so November 1st is when we would assume operations. There's a ton of planning going on. I'm working directly with Brad, the executive director of the center. There is no cookie cutter recipe, so that's what the transition's for. But just wanted to let you all know it's our mission to serve as many families in our community as possible. We also recognize that the county and city of St. Genevieve are unique, and we try to celebrate the uniqueness of all of our communities and all of our YMCA's. So the experience you have at the Festus Y would be different than the Emerson Y, which is in Ferguson, Missouri, which is different than Belleville, Illinois. And so what we think we bring is some experience in this field that can help the staff become as efficient as possible and serve as many families as humanly possible. And so just wanted to introduce myself and thank the commission for allowing me to do so, and take any questions you may have.
I'm gonna keep this focused on tourism. How does the YMCA provide any sort of like, how is that marketed? Is YMCA going to market this place as a new, and get the word out? How's that going to look?
Absolutely. We're looking at, we'll do some marketing leading up to it, and we're looking at January for like a rededication. We haven't decided exactly what that looks like, but some sort of celebratory event that we think will draw some attraction. And we market to all 14 counties across 2 states with a lot of our pieces. And also, I think the water park is a unique one that is probably something that I definitely want to be hand in glove with what you all are doing, because that's drawing from a large region. So,
well, one thing that the community center and the water park have always kind of found challenging is getting people to come past the water park and get all the way into downtown St. Gen. We have, 60,000 visitors a year that go to the water park, and there may be a few hundred of them that come all the way here. They all get back on the highway and head that way. So I'd be curious, not to put you on the spot, maybe you don't have an answer, but I'd be curious what your thoughts are on how you guys could help,
Absolutely. I think there's ways to get in front of all those audiences. We'll collect email addresses and things like that. So I think there's some follow-up marketing for a comeback visit. And I don't know from my walkthroughs, are we already, are the displayed things to do in St. Gen types of stuff? We're open to all of those things. So it's been remarkable in this process as I'm going around the other parts of the YMCA region of how many people think highly. They're like, oh yeah, I've been there. It's awesome. So I think there's some opportunity there.
Yeah.
I know Brad Arnold has done a really pretty good job for what he can do. He's tried to do creative ways to promote the community center and the water park and St. Genevieve as a whole to try to get people to come down here. Worked with the trolley on a few things and some other advertising when they were doing special events. And of course the water park I know is a big draw from out of town people. I'm sure he'll give you the things that he's done in the past. So if we can help too, partner, we're hoping to get a larger marketing budget. So if the county bed tax goes through, if they designate us to be their marketing agent, Aaron and staff will have some more money to market the county as a whole. Because right now Aaron's in a tough spot to try to market the county because the county entities, the county businesses, and the county government don't really pay in for him to be able to market for them. But we also don't want to not advertise because there's such cool amenities out there too. So you guys are in that same boat, or we maybe, whatever kind of partnership we could get would just help everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Have you guys done any other water parks before? Do you guys operate anything similar to what our outdoor water park is?
Not of the same magnitude. Your water park is fantastic. We have water parks at the Carondelet Park Rec Complex on 55 there. That's a YMCA. In North County, the O'Fallon Park has a water park, and then River Chase in the city of Fenton has a water park as well.
Okay. So you've done them before, so.
Yeah, same. I'm with French Colonial America here in town, and a couple years ago, we had paid and installed some rack card holders out at the water park and didn't do anything with them until this year. And we went out there and put rack cards in there. They couldn't be in a better spot. They're right next to the lockers, right where you walk out. We just went out there yesterday, hoping that they were empty since we hadn't been out there. And I don't think any of the rack cards were gone. Not just ours, the other places in town, they're all just there. So we're trying to reach them, but everything, it wasn't just our site. Anyone that brings us rack cards to put in the center, we just grabbed some of them, took them out there, and everybody's rack cards were still there.
Was that inside the main building?
Inside the water park.
Oh, in the water park?
Yeah. So we have some in the water park, and then we also have a larger, I call it a newspaper stand thing where you open it up and you can take some there. And then we have one of those over at the baseball field. We don't have anything in those right now. filled the rat card holders. I think we have like 16 slots. And I really don't think anything was taken. And like I said, they couldn't be in a better spot. They're right by the exit. There's the lockers. Here's the exit. They're right there. And so I don't know how, do we need to put a flashing light on it? I don't know how you get people to pick them up and take the information. I don't know.
It's tough.
The app, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get some posters out there.
They don't want, their wet hands don't want to pick them up with their wet hands.
Think
Well,
about
that I would say, but I was also really hoping that like parents not watching their kids would let the kids grab them, they'd be flying all over. That didn't happen because they were still in.
Hurting their kids.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that, when you go to a water park, I have kids, and when you leave the water park, I can't imagine us going somewhere else than home, other than home. Like that's just, I can't imagine these guys leaving the water park to come down here to do something. I mean, I love that idea, but it might be a
Yeah,
tough
well,
one.
I was, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, well, that looks interesting. We'll have to come back and see.
Yeah, right,
Take it with
yeah.
you as you go, not necessarily you're going to
Yeah.
go do something else. Swimming does you in. You're
Yeah, right, yeah.
hungry and tired.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not the marketing expert, but we have people that are in our central offices, and so I look forward to working with Aaron and coming up with some creative ideas of how to be of assistance.
Yeah, they sold, spots on like the napkin dispensers, and they had a television that would cycle through advertisements and stuff for people that, wanted to advertise their businesses in there. So I think that's an opportunity for us to shine some light on St. John, but it might be tough with being a water park, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, let's move on to old business.
Yeah.
How did,
Why with the hive, yeah.
yeah,
I was impressed with how many vendors they had out for that. And they seemed to be pretty well organized. I mean, they went all the way down from where Briggs was all the way down to Main Street and then kind of crossed in front of Bell Ever After. So they had a good amount of vendors. I think it could have been better attended.
did we get feedback from any of the vendors, or, I mean, I know they're not here, but have you guys heard anything about how the vendors did?
No, I saw something in here.
I love it both.
Yeah, the person next to me had a good day. We participated in Scooter Burgers. We sold burgers, and we did a joint fundraiser with St. Jude. And I don't, all the different products they had, but they said they had a pretty good day. But that was just one vendor.
Okay.
I heard the morning was great.
The afternoon was dead.
Yeah, about 11:30, it was nothing. Like, the first hour and a half was wonderful. And then after that, after 11:30, there was nothing.
Was it heat related, maybe?
I was just gonna say, I don't remember, did it rain or something?
It did rain earlier that morning, like earlier that morning. I mean, it's July, June, whatever day it was, June.
Yeah, end of June. So
Yeah, I think it
it
was supposed to end at 6, and I mean, all of the vendors were packing up their stuff around 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
Because there was no one on the streets at all.
And that's pretty typical.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, for St. John, that's typical vendors, because when I used to do the pecan festival, it was a rule, if you left early, you couldn't come back. Because so many times they get tired and just pack up and go home, even if it's busy. They're done, they go home.
I mean, I can understand if they're out of product,
Yeah.
sure, but if you're not out of product, then you stay.
They weren't, though. They were packing up and not out of product.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why
So
they
that
used to
tells me
make it
there
that
that they
rule.
weren't doing good
Yeah.
in their sales.
There was, I mean, literally no one on the streets for hours. Because I had a good spot.
Yeah, you have a good-
Yeah.
Good vantage point.
What time was that at? Do you remember?
From like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock-ish.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I think they had a pretty interesting sort of marketing plan, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure. Like to see some numbers from what they did do, or if they have any sort of concrete assessment of how their advertisement worked, but I don't think they did anything typical except maybe some radio ads and stuff like that. So.
Do we, on the application for the marketing, and even if they didn't apply to get marketing funds from TTC, we should somehow promote and I'm sure we've done this, but we should somehow promote the idea of coming back and for whoever's organizing the event to come back and give us like a,
They're supposed to. That's
yeah.
that's part of it.
yeah, if you mean if they get the grant funding.
If they
Yeah.
get the grant money, they're supposed to come back and tell us how they spent that money.
Yeah, I'm thinking just any event, even if they didn't get grant money, I'd love it. I mean, I'd love more people here that, that are in those types
give
of
it- yeah, to give
things,
us some sort of
we should try to talk to them a little bit about attending this meeting. I've tried to get some folks to attend the meeting, but it's not easy to do. But I think we should try to, as a group, maybe even just at least talk about it when we're with them, just to see if we can get more people in here to talk about things they're doing.
You go spin a sign outside.
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah.
Well, we talked about having a survey on the website after a festival or something.
Yeah, we had talked about that, and
Because maybe it could be something where at the festival, you could scan the QR code and give your,
give your
you know,
feedback,
do you plan
yeah.
on attending next year?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the festival? What would you have liked to see
Mhm.
done different, better?
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea, but I
Yeah.
think Brock's trying to say the event organizers, correct?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think they
Both, yeah.
should come back, especially if they were given any amount of money. It
Yes,
should be mandatory
absolutely.
that they have to come and
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah.
How did they feel about it?
Yeah.
You know, what did they want to do different?
Yeah.
Did they get money for this, or is
No.
this like an application?
No,
They have an
not yet.
application.
Yeah, they have an application, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there, but, okay, yeah, so I think we should just keep that in mind to try to get some other folks here that organize some of these events, get feedback, even if they didn't get funding. That'd be nice. Okay, we don't have to approve all business, do we?
Mhm.
Okay, tourism director report, yeah.
I just kind of want to talk about, I've been gone for the past week, and I had a big event over the weekend. So I just want to talk about, since we're super involved with Missouri Main Street Connection, next week is our first opportunity to kind of gain some points. So there's a point system. If you guys saw in our agreement with Missouri Main Street, that we have to, either myself or the people who are on the board have to attend, some of their conferences, and their big one is next week in St. Charles. They're doing Wednesday and Thursday, and that if we do both days, and two of us do it, we'll get 6 points, which will go towards like our 10 points that we need for the year, which is kind of cool. But it is pretty pricey. So I think for they have a little fee schedule here, and we, because we're late, I don't know if I can get them. I've been in talks with Ben, but I haven't asked him this question, if they can get it reduced to one of the lower rates, like the regular full registration. But right now we're in the on-site full registration phase, so it'd be $450 per person for the 2 days.
And Aaron, who's paying for that?
Right. So, I mean, I imagine if it was just coming, if it was just me going, then I would, take it out of my general fund budget. But if one of you guys came in TTC, I'd ask TTC to maybe put that bill.
It's a 2-day conference?
It's a 2-day conference, yeah.
What is, so obviously there's a big benefit with getting the points. What else can we get from that conference?
Just mostly, you're going to be rubbing shoulders with, the communities that have been doing this for a long time. So St. Charles is one of those communities that's been in this for a long time. And then, of course, the training, it's all a conference full of different sort of training modules that you go to during the day. So.
What's the name of the conference? Do you
Missouri Main Street.
Is it
Yeah.
Missouri Main Street?
Get your kicks on Main Street.
That's it.
Get your kicks on Main Street?
Downtown
Oh, here it is.
Revitalization
Okay, cool.
Conference.
Yeah.
I would say I've been to a Missouri Main Street conference before, and it's electric.
Really?
Yes, it is. I mean, for $450, I think it's definitely worth
Yeah.
someone going. I cannot go because I would definitely be going. But yeah, I think the networking opportunities
Yeah.
and the people that are in the room it's just a great conference. And especially for us being, we're really going to call us a newbie because we've been there
Yeah.
before, but we are kind of essentially a newbie
Yeah.
in this aspect of it. I think it could definitely bring a lot to the
Yeah.
table. for sure.
Well, I think I'm planning on attending.
So, yeah, that'd be good. I don't know if,
Who else are you thinking that you'd want to ask or invite, Aaron?
I just sent stuff to the TTC board. I think I added Josh Wright because he came with me to the first sort of thing that we had to do. What was it? It was like the community empowerment grant workshop. We went out to Jeff City to do that one. So I asked him.
Downtown St. John, maybe asked a few of them.
Yeah,
Sam, I don't know.
yeah, exactly. So,
How many?
and I think I asked Susie from Foundation as well. So I think, I don't know, I think we can have up to 3. I don't know if there's like a real set limit. I think we only get points for up to 3 people, but not that matters, you know what I mean? As long as we're getting something out of it.
Well, going to that conference and showing that we are highly represented is a huge thing.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, if you can take 3 people, I would take 3 people.
Well, I definitely have Josh said he can make it for at least, like a spot. So I don't know if he could do a full day or if he could just do one of the things. And you've said yes, I've said yes.
Yeah.
It's a little short notice, but yeah.
So do we want to use TTC funds for myself and whoever the second person is, and then use your funds for your
We can do
ticket?
that, yeah, for sure.
I think so.
We want
And Aaron, is there another opportunity for us to, how are the other opportunities for points?
Yeah.
How do they become present? Like, what do we need to do to?
So actually what's great is Ben, when I contact with him, he's got like a whole list of the conferences like in his email. So it's like all the different conferences. There's not that many. It's like 5 or 6.
I've seen it 4.
Yeah. So I think there's about 5 or 6. And yeah, so there's going to be other opportunities. Hopefully they'll be as far out as St. Charles because that's a nice, just easy drive to do. But I'm sure we'll have to go to Jeff City or do something like that for a couple of them. But yeah, if we get, a good 6-7 points out the gate, I mean, that
And
sets
if you
us
can
up
get
really
those
well.
dates ahead of time, I mean, I would be very interested.
Yeah,
in
sure.
going to one of them.
Okay, excellent. I will.
I just have to get on the calendar.
And
Yeah.
are these like through just this year or do they expand into next year?
So like I was asking him, it's basically based on like the state's fiscal year. So it starts July 1st. So we're good. We're going to be getting a lot of points like right off the bat, and then we just have to make up the rest throughout the year at their other events. But yeah. So and then it starts again this fiscal year. So it's good. We're like right at the beginning. So we got in right at the right spot. I know they have a couple of different times that you can get in, but I think we got in right at the beginning, so that's really nice.
So somebody want to make a motion to approve the funding for 2 people to represent us at the conference?
Motion to approve?
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So I do have a question on that front. What about lodging? Are we just paying for the registration or are we paying for the rooms too?
Well, thinking about that, do we have to stay? That was kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, we could drive to St. Charles, depending on how late.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
going
know.
up every,
I don't-
well, sometimes the evening stuff is worth the stay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
When they have.
So they
like,
do
the
have stuff going on
receptions and stuff
on
in
the
the evening
evening.
time.
Okay.
I don't know about this one. I haven't seen the full
I
I
agenda.
think they did have a little bit, because I went on and
Yeah,
looked to
it's-
see what it,
It's actually on
Yeah.
here.
Oh, the agenda?
Yeah, so if you flip to this, it starts right there. So Trailblazers and Timbers Exploring Historic St. Charles, that's sold out. So that's
Yeah, so you think about that.
that's the day, that's the night before.
That's Tuesday. Right?
Yeah.
That's Tuesday, but if you're looking at
Let's see,
Wednesday, the
Wednesday.
Show Me Bash and Pitch Party.
Oh, yeah, it goes to 9 p.m.
Yeah, but it's and that's $100 per person.
Sometimes those events are, I mean,
Yeah.
Really, also really good to go to.
Yeah,
Again, you're
absolutely.
rubbing shoulders and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 10 p.m. on the last day too. Holy cow. Thursday.
Well, that's like a award ceremony. I wouldn't, you probably didn't, because you're not, we haven't been.
Yeah, we want to go when we're getting awards.
I mean, if we got.
We don't want to watch other people get awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could go and scope out what they did to get that award and then.
Oh, well, that's true too, yeah. Well,
At $160.
Yeah, that's 160 person per.
as,
Well, you know,
I get it, I get it.
On top of it, that's wow.
as Missouri Division of Tourism's rising star for the 2025, I know how to
Yeah,
get
there you go.
awards. So,
Yeah, there you
you know,
Hmm.
basically beg for them. And,
Oh, even the first evening reception there's a charge for that one too.
yeah. So, it's a racket.
I can't remember which one it was, but the one is at the old post office on Main Street, and it sounded really cool
Mhm.
to get to see that and do it.
Hmm.
Do you know how or why yet that they choose to go to the places that they, like St. Charles, for example, or wherever they post these?
Just I think St. Charles is like, pretty much what do they call it? An accredited Main Street program. So I think that's where they kind of base it on.
And big enough to host.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Just thinking about when we would be able to do it.
Yeah, right, I know,
We
exactly.
probably wouldn't because we don't have
Yeah.
enough lodging.
Yeah, we wouldn't have enough lodging probably.
And I just say that because.
And a
I
resort
go to
center
A lot of
or
chamber
conference center.
conferences and the way their conferences are picked is kind of regional. So, we go twice a year and on occasion we go like upper, north of Missouri, then we go central Missouri, then we go southeast Missouri, and then we go out west. So it just depends on the location, but it also depends on the number of beds that you have in your community. And if you can actually get them to, sponsor a hotel. But we don't have enough.
Once we get that hotel in, it's coming.
So,
Yeah, so I mean, for the extra, I
yeah,
guess.
let's do it.
I mean, I think definitely Aaron should be staying the night. Just because I feel like I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything
Yeah, sure.
personally. Like,
Mm.
if the other two can't go to the evening things, at least you could go.
I mean, I could go. Just wondering if we want to. I mean, I guess, it's just becoming expensive, but I think it's about. I mean, if it's a valuable.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do
Yeah.
it right, don't.
Well, and I mean, I'm not, obviously, I don't have any say so on your budget, but I mean, you have the money.
Yeah.
There's no reason, and this is a brand new program that we need to be like eyes and ears on the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
center,
We should, yeah.
right out the gate.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, we'll look into getting a room and stuff like that.
Should we make another motion to approve the additional expenditures?
I think you just blanket motion to cover
Yeah.
the entire conference. Education and lodging, whatever that fee is.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Do I make that?
Yeah, motion to approve the full conference.
All in favor? It's just you guys, right? Moved. Up to 3.
Yeah, yeah.
We missed upcoming events under old business for Jerfed.
Oh, yeah. What did we say?
There was kind
Oh,
of about that,
I didn't move
like,
my minutes. You're right, I didn't move my minutes.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, so what do we have for Jerfed? And,
Well,
So-
Moonlight Madness is this Friday.
what's that?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Moonlight Madness is
So
this
it's not-
Friday.
Oh, yeah.
How's that looking?
5 to 7, it's fine, I mean, I haven't heard any.
What is it?
It's Moonlight Madness.
What is that?
what did they do?
Oh, the merchants stay open late for, just like people coming and shopping.
Cool. Till what time?
5 to 7, is that what the flyer said, I think?
Typically, that's what it is.
Who
So they just
is
stay open till.
is that a downtown St. Genevieve thing?
Yeah, downtown St. Genevieve.
Have you heard anything about how, is it getting a lot of like fanfare? Do you have the?
I think so. We did talk about that in a meeting today about, we've been asked to look at a different date or
Okay.
a different day of the week, maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday, like on a day that's not normally busy.
Sure.
Fridays are always really tough because they're already busy anyway. But So we're gonna do a survey, we're gonna send out a survey to see if they want to continue it on a Friday, or if they want a different day of the week. And then, if they wanna add something to make it more fun. Last year, we did, a theme wrapped around the Styx tribute with Abby Orris, and we did,
Was it the
bell
same night?
bottoms and,
Was it the same night as the?
it is,
Oh.
yeah, it is this year too. They dress up in like 70s and 80s.
I was there, I'm dressed
Yeah.
up, with some
Yeah,
bell
we
bottoms
were
on.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
And,
Got a lot of
so
old
that
70s
they,
clothes, so like,
if they dressed up, then they got an additional discount at the store that they shopped.
Cool.
So, we didn't do anything this year, we just said, do whatever you like. Yeah.
and I don't have too much to report on Judith, but I've been going to the meetings, and, I mean, they've got that sewn up, you know what I mean? Their organization is really good, and I know Carrie was talking about, with the money that she received for the TTC grant, doing some additional, she's been working with a TV provider to do like some streaming commercials. So that's very cool. The tourism department normally helps them do a live remote with 93.1, where 93.1 sets up, and they, talk live, do interviews and stuff like that live at the event. And I didn't help pay for that last year, so I just paid for it all this year. So yeah, they'll have that. But I'm sure it'll go great. Hopefully they ordered the same weather they had last year, because that was pretty awesome.
That only comes around once every 10 years.
Yeah, right. A good 70-degree days in August. Yeah, that was amazing.
Do we have any idea how many vendors are coming this year as compared to like last year?
I think they have 201 from what I remember and I think they were around, did they have 220 last year or something like that? But they were at 200 now, and they say they get a lot of flurry of like people coming in whenever it gets closer to the day. So they're on pace to kind of, actually do better. I think they only had like 150 booked at this time last year.
Oh.
So yeah.
I was just wondering because I rember the days of yesteryear where it was just at vendors packing
Yeah.
just every street, and you couldn't. It was a madhouse. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then something changed and
It's
you went
whittled
down
down.
to nothing kind of. And so it's like, what are we doing to build it back up? And what does that look like over time?
Yeah, right. Well, they're one of those boards that's pretty tight knit, and hopefully over time I'll be able to get some more insight on that. But yeah,
It's a great weekend for sure. It's one of the big things that everyone talks about.
yeah, absolutely.
And where are the streets blocked off for that? Is it blocked from Jefferson to,
I think
It's Washington,
is
isn't
it Washington and
I
Market?
mean, it's probably Washington all the way down to past the viaduct
Oh, yeah, of course. That's
on Main, and then Merchant and Market.
Both.
Most of those. Not that first half of,
And the vendors are up through that whole thing, right?
and then also
Yeah.
down, of course, at the Jurfed property
Yeah.
down there underneath the trestle.
Yeah.
Down there. So they've got a couple new. They have an entrepreneur section or a young entrepreneur section again this year, and they've got a kids section on top of that, and a different kids section for that. So they're trying to revitalize because there's not 500 craft vendors that are out there. So they do the best with the ones that are still a handmade product, So, but there's a lot more craft shows that they're competing with. So the draw just. But they have done some other things to bring in some new type of visitors to bolster it a little bit.
Do you know why they're not doing 5K this year?
That would be a Brad Arnold question. We'll have to find out. The YMCA maybe will do that next year. They normally, on the Jurfed, it's a big craft fair we have. And I think that normally it's the community center that sponsors that. I think so. Or at least organizes it for Jurfed.
Is that in there?
So, and I think they do it on the levee.
No, it's on the
That's
park.
Oh, it's the park, yeah. Sing it.
That's November.
You've done that.
I thought you ran that every year, you don't know?
Just a 5K.
All right. You want to make, somebody want to make a motion to approve the director report?
I don't think we have.
We don't have to do that. Yeah, I knew that. New business?
Nothing on there.
Okay. Other business? Marketing grants?
Let's take a look at those markets.
I'll just say right away that I don't think we're in a position to make a move on this one until they're here. And, you know, the bricks one. We can talk about it, but I feel like they should be here, especially since it's a retro request.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
Well, I have a different opinion on it, if I can speak.
Yeah, go for it.
Even though it's just, I just don't feel like, we should even approve it because they didn't abide by the 30 days. And here's the reason why. It's nothing against them. I want them to succeed. However, if we bend on the 30-day prior to the meeting for them, we have to do it for everyone. So once you set a precedent, it just moves forward. And then everyone's going to say, well, my event's in 12 days and I want $1,000. And then guess what? We can't say no because we've already approved one person. So once you set a precedent for one, you have to do it for everyone. And I feel like the marketing money we should hold true to the 30 days timeframe. I just truly believe that. And I've been sitting on this board for a long time and I just don't want to see it being taken advantage of.
Yeah. I think the situation with this one, the reason that, you know, I think in any other situation, and I'm not even going to disagree with you. I think that, you know, that's a valid point. But the thing is that there was some issues with this in particular that held them back from being able to do what they were wanting to do in a timely manner. So it wasn't necessarily on them 100% on the delay of that getting organized and put together. I think there was other things involved.
Extraneous factors.
There were other factors involved that limited them on their approach for this festival, and that was the only reason that I was even considering it, was because of the unique situation that they were in.
And I don't disagree with that, Brock. I agree with that 100%. I just feel that once we shift and we make a change, everyone's going to start doing
And
it.
I think, and if I'll just say that if that's true, then you know, then it would be at our discretion. You know, I think if there's a situation, another unique situation where somebody is limited by extenuating circumstances that they did not expect, and we see that that's an obvious thing, that we could bend for that person too. And if it's a situation where somebody just didn't, you know, they didn't really have a reason why, they just were late in doing it, then, you know, then maybe we wouldn't consider it, you know. I mean, I think the rules are there for a reason, and I get that, and I think you're right, and that from that perspective, I'm on the fence with it. I'm on the fence with it just because I feel like we're all grown-ups, and we all, you know, we know right and wrong, and we want to help people. And I think, you know, I tell people this a lot when I'm on the phone with like a technical support or something, like, you know, the thing that makes you guys stand out is when you go above and beyond what the rules are, and you do things that you maybe are told you shouldn't do, but you know it's in the interest of the person that you're working with at the time, and you make that decision, and that's what makes people stand out. As you know, that's a quality character trait, in my opinion. And so I don't know. I just I struggle with this one, but I will let you guys. You know, I'm not.
There's a motion to table it, and I think I'll second your motion, and if he wants to come plead his case, because, I mean, or at least let him hear him out, but I agree with you, Gina, as well. So I'll second the motion to table it and see if he decides he wants to come back and plead his case.
Well, I would like to ask one other thing on that point then before we ask him to come in, because what would we be expecting when he comes in? Are we expecting to either approve that day, or is it, you know, we review it, we listen and say then, or can we ask for other?
Yeah, we would be approving it that day if he came in and talked about it, you know. Obviously it's gotten kind of weird because it's now, you know, going to be delayed long beyond the event itself, and so it's kind of in a strange spot right now. But
I guess my question then would be, I would hate to have them come in and then have more questions about the spend or whatever, and then not feel like I could make a motion on it at the time, even if we were gonna grant an exception. If we could maybe just talk about a couple of things, because I'm not as familiar yet with, like, they.
Well, and two, a couple months ago, I brought up the whole guidelines for the grants. And then David sent it out and we never talked about it because the way I read it, it was supposed to be a matching grant. They were supposed to put in the equal amount of funds as well as there's a whole list of guidelines. It's not just the 30 days. So that's something that someone should probably send you now that you're new. So, there's a whole list of guidelines, not just the 30 days. And in looking at the receipts, I mean, they have shirts on here for $200. We don't pay for shirts.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask, that was one of my
So,
questions.
there's a lot of things about this particular one that,
Well, I didn't understand, are we supposed to see a receipt? What,
Well, they're supposed to come in and they're supposed to display where they've actually used their marketing dollars and the advertisements and what they do. If they did Facebook marketing, if they did radio, newspaper, that kind of stuff. Banners, I mean, I can see a banner, being maybe.
it's advertising.
It's advertisement. I don't know what City Spark is. I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it before, so I
don't know what it is either.
And radio and stuff like that, but
I think this is what he did spend money on.
Yeah.
And so that was his match, so that he was showing that he's got that 850, that's why he asked for 850, is because he'd already spent 850 on advertising. So I don't think he was asking for us to pay for shirts. I think that was just part of his marketing and advertising that he was doing for the event. So I think this was his 850 match.
it's his accounting log, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got the
But-
match per se. Whether you consider a t-shirt part of marketing, kind of.
Well, it says on the bottom, it says not for food rentals, personal reimbursements, or decorations. I would, if the staff or whatever was wearing the shirts, that's more of a decoration.
I would still expect for him to be sending or showing us the receipts of what we spent that.
Exactly, yeah.
Because when we talked about Facebook marketing, he stood right there and said he didn't know how to do it. And he wasn't sure what was in the plan for the Facebook marketing part of it because he didn't know how to do it. And I don't know if someone was helping him with that or not. But
So there's a lot that we don't know.
when we do these things and we have some of the individuals that come back, like Tim with the F-150, or even Kathy with the domestic violence last year. She came in and she gave a full-blown report.
We've
It
had
was
some really
amazing.
good after-action reports,
We have had some.
and we've
very
had
good
some
ones.
no-shows.
Right, and we continue to give those no-shows money.
Have we repeated?
Mardi
I think so.
No, they only did one time. I don't think we've given them twice, have we?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've only done it. We only given them one.
Okay.
Well, and I wasn't sure when I read through there that it says what other sources of funding, just in general, I'm not even for this, but what other sources of funding will be used to help pay for marketing and advertising. So if funding is being given by other businesses, or should that be listed somewhere so that, I guess I get confused with understanding how much was spent and how much of, if I donated $200 from, our business, how were those funds spent versus what else are we coming in and asking for, just in general? We've asked the question on here, but what does it lead us to as it relates to making a decision on whether we give funding to someone?
And a lot of times we won't know because they apply in time or way in advance, and they're 2 or 3 months in advance, and so they haven't done all.
Yeah, we usually approve it long before they have any of those, long before they have those details. They have like a rough estimate or a budget of what they're gonna do with their marketing money, and then they come back with after we already
That's
funded.
what makes
with
the follow-up, the coming back, so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. And really, ultimately, the coming back should be, we need to get, there should be value in that. It's not necessarily just checking in on them that they did what we asked them to do, but also get value out of it. What are we learning? How did the marketing work? Was it good marketing? Did you, was this Spark company, did you get good feedback from them? We should probably take advantage of that, opportunity to have those conversations and learn, while we're.
Also, as I'm sitting here thinking, it's like, with the state matching funds, they basically funnel us into, here's the acceptable ways you spend money. We could even go as far as that at some point to put together some sort of form that funnels them. If you're going to do Facebook, you know what I mean? It's got to be this. We've got to approve the ads, that sort of thing. I mean, that's a lot of extra legwork. Or, we can go as far as that, or not quite as far, but just kind of, help funnel them into.
And Dina, you know this better than anybody, but we know that they're spending money on advertising.
Absolutely.
Like we know that. And I think that for me, I always, as soon as I start to get into the weeds of like, okay, well, what do they do with the money and how they do this? I pull myself back out of that. I'm like, well, I know that they're spending money on marketing. I'm not, I know they're working their butts off. Actually, you guys work your butts off to put these events on, and for us as a city. To support them in that, it's very valuable to me. I love helping them, and it and some of them aren't going to have the cleanest reports, and maybe not get us all the details that we would like to see every time. But I do think that being flexible is a part of why we do well and helping these guys. And so I don't know. I think that's a tough one.
It's tough because when you again, I think. Your heart's in the right place, and we want to make it inclusive. We want to, we don't want just the really super organized people to be able to get this, or what I mean. A lot of these people, the people that don't have the help, to be able to put these events on and things.
And these rules are in place to protect from this being taken advantage of. I believe that we're trying to just maintain some level of order here, and if the situation is not a situation like that, where or we find ourselves after a few months of being flexible that people are taking advantage of it. We have documented guidelines on how we can tighten things up if we needed to, but I don't feel like anybody has ever come in here and been thought about this in a way that they would be taking advantage of it. I think that everybody's just trying to get a little support, and so it's hard for me to turn somebody down on these. But the one thing for me that is the big one that if for to deny these or approve them is if it's free or not. That if they're charging a fee, that changes things for me. But other than that, if they're putting on an event for downtown, trying to help the city and trying to help get people into this town and help bring these businesses some revenue and some business, I think I don't want to look for reasons not to approve them.
Yeah. Well, and before we move on to the next one, I think Roseanne brings up a great point that we've touched on, but then we've never gone back. There are these guidelines that we have been largely ignoring. We've set precedent that we've been kind of ignoring, and one of the big things being that this is a matching grant. So there's, and I don't know. I think last year, we just gave Kathy $1,000. There was no match from her end. So do we start tightening up on that? You know what I mean? Do we need
have
to
to identify, is it a matching grant or
Right.
is it not a matching grant?
Right.
Because you're saying two different things. One minute it's a matching grant and the next time it's not. a
I know,
matching
it's driving me insane.
grant. So, and I noticed that it's no longer on the grant application where it says matching marketing.
And I think we had told David to take that off when
Right.
when Tom was on the board, and I don't know if we were in a complete transition at that point in time, but there was a lot of there was a cacophony going on, and it was hard. I think everybody had a different sort of view, and we asked David to take that off. But I don't know if we need to revisit that.
Well, let's make that an agenda item to review the application at the next meeting.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
This is the third time we've talked about this.
Yeah,
and we haven't done. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know who needs to do it, but we also need a report of who received a grant and who has come back and done an after action report.
And who is not?
Yeah. So I don't know, Aaron, is that you or is that Dave? Can David do that, or who can do that part of that? To get in the application's easy enough, but that
Right.
who we've given the grant to and who has hasn't done a report.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't even really handle the reports. I get it in the packet, or I get the applications in the packet with everything else. I don't really even interface with that. So David, I would love for you to do that. If you need me to do it, I'm happy to.
Do you have access to that, Dave, who has received who's gotten the grants and?
Everybody who's gotten a grant, I can look at the minutes who showed up afterwards in the public forum and discuss what happened and not. I'll just add a column to the spreadsheet here after action report at the end.
Thank you so much.
One other question before we move off this, since we're going to talk about this next time, and maybe we can talk about it more, but, it says return to city hall or mail, and it needs to be done 30 days prior to the TTC meeting. So when this is received, what happens? Does it get sent out to the board for
Yeah, Dave
review
sends it out.
beforehand, those times, or
Yeah, normally a week beforehand.
a week?
So the packet,
Yeah, with the
With their
packet.
packet. But if it's submitted to Dave before the TTC meeting, then 30 days before. This one was submitted 6/10, the event was 6/28,
Right, when was the TTC meeting?
6/15.
Right, and we didn't have a
this is
quorum,
the
so-
issue we had with Tom, because they turned in the application. I don't even look at the dates. I just put it in the packet and send it to you guys, and let you guys make that decision. I mean, so that's why we don't have a chair right now. I mean, do you want me to filter these things before, or do you want me to just send them to you as they come?
We'll talk about that at the.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I
That's very
think,
valid. That's very valid.
I
Yeah, it's a
think-
good question.
It'd be nice to make you the bad guy, but there are extenuating circumstances.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He shouldn't be the one turning anything down.
You can just note on there that they turned it in late. So if, so you still send it through, but just say submitted.
Yeah, notice date.
Or maybe, put a date right on there, received.
Yeah.
Cool,
What date you received it.
cool.
But they put the date that they're submitting it to Dave on there.
Oh, well then, don't worry about it.
Well, if it's the same.
I mean, I'm not being a hard ass here. I'm just trying to say that we have a precedent. We should follow the precedent. And I don't get a vote. I get that. I just have an opinion. And I just don't, I'm saying once we bend the rules,
I agree.
they continue to get bent. And I am happy that they did this event. I hope they do this event again. And I am supporting the event. I just feel like they've got to go through the process the exact same way that everybody else has to go through the process. Regardless of their circumstance, I hate the circumstance they were going through, but that's still no reason for us to concede or to bend the rules.
Right, well, they had this circumstance, and then the next person that does the next one, something could happen to them, and they still have to go through with it. So,
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be
I agree,
difficult.
if we do it for one and it gets out there, then we're gonna have it happen again.
We can talk about this more at the next meeting when we go over it, but there's also there's not a lot of clarity in this application due
Yes.
minimum 30 days before the TTC meeting. Which TTC meeting? Does it have to be before the event?
That's why I was asking.
Which TTC meeting does that even mean?
And that's listed more in the guidelines, which
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
why
think
we
the
just need to go through
person
that.
gets, so, yeah.
Yeah, because that doesn't say before your event.
There's still a motion on the floor in a second.
So you,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
To table.
If he wants to come back and plead his case, let him come back. and
Yeah.
plead his case. I'm okay with it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, approved. Or granted. Okay.
I get it.
Do we want to review the domestic violence services
Yeah,
application?
Kathy is very sorry that she couldn't be here. She got called away to St. Louis today. And was pretty mortified that she couldn't be here because, as we've seen from last year, Kathy shows up, periodically just to let us know what's going on. I was pretty skeptical about this being a good sort of like tourist draw, but it sounds like she knows how to put on an event and she knows how to grow it. It sounds like she's adding some different elements and she's getting with me once a week basically to, I think the Oktoberfest board's a little bit in disarray right now since their president left. But she's been trying to flange up with them and kind of let the marketing dollars that she receives from this kind of help both events. And so, yeah, she got a really collaborative spirit and I think she puts on a good event.
This is a car show.
It's a car show, yeah.
You saw that last year.
And this is, I guess it's Oktoberfest weekend.
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's Saturday.
So where is the car show?
Goodness.
I mean, do you want
The
to?
car show is out at the,
Same weekend as Farm to Table
At
too?
Farmer's Table, yeah.
How was she planning on combining with Oktoberfest?
Just-
Joint
just-
advertising or?
joint advertising, yeah, joint advertising on like radio ads and things like that, and kind of like, hey, come to Oktoberfest, we also have a car show for the domestic violence
She
happening.
moved her event up a little bit so that
Yeah.
it didn't coincide with some of the later events down at
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, so she's also,
If
yeah,
you wanted to come to the car show in the morning, early afternoon, you could go down there in the late afternoon, evening, and you could do both.
Where is this, where's the event held?
River
Community
Rapids
center,
Water
yeah.
Park.
Oh, at the water park.
I did this event last year and I honestly, I did not know what to expect from it and we had the best time.
Really?
And there were so many people there.
Really?
I
Was it-
I
was
just
it-
went to go get my scooter burger.
Was it the same
Really.
weekend or was it Oktoberfest weekend?
I don't think it was the same weekend as
No, it
Oktoberfest
didn't.
last year.
No.
It was a different weekend. It was still in September,
Yeah.
I believe, because that's Domestic Violence Month, but,
yeah, and I think
I think
she's.
we had a
she's-
great time.
She's even trying to cut it off, before the wiener dog races, so she's like,
Yeah.
she doesn't even want it to run into that.
Yeah,
At all. So she is being super conscious about it being something that feeds into Oktoberfest, which I think is really cool.
Well, that's also the weekend of the big,
The Melissa?
market.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
You
That's
mean
right.
Farmer's Table?
No, there's the farmer's table, and then there a woman that normally sets up at Fort Deschart and does these really great historical sort of market fairs is doing one that Saturday as well.
Oh,
So we're
Well,
it's
that's
gonna-
actually all weekend. That's Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday and Sunday? That's right.
busy week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend for sure. So there's gonna be Germans walking around, there's gonna be 1850s, or hey, 1750s Frenchmen walking around, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I mean, I feel like this is,
Yeah, I mean,
That's
she
perfectly
definitely showed receipts and she did everything.
She had a
She was
packet.
the presentation.
Yeah.
Motion?
yeah.
Anybody?
Can I make motions, Pete? I got it. I
I
don't.
don't think, I don't,
I can't make.
Brock
No, I
can't.
can't.
motion.
yeah.
I move that we approve the $1,000 grant for the domestic violence car show.
Yeah, second. Yeah. And, okay, all in favor?
I,
It's just you three, I guess.
Yes, I
We
don't
spent the TTC money, so we don't,
approved.
We're not
we
actually
can't vote on TTC money.
money.
We can vote on the other stuff when you're actually spending, there's three pots of money. There's general
Okay.
funds, and the city gives the tourism department. There's tax, lodging, expenses, that money comes in every grand or so a year, and then there's marketing, which is the state that we've been getting a lot. So there's three pots of money. And we can't vote on the TTC one. It's set by state statute.
And that was that confusing budget talk we had earlier, is the 3 pots of money. I got real mixed up.
All right, we have, next meeting is August 19th at 5:30. We have anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Nothing to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. Rebecca made the motion. Second. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. Oh, just a quick tidbit. We are going to be talking maybe at the next meeting. We'll have some more details about this tax, this transient tax.
Yeah.
And I know Aaron's got some work with Trish from the Perryville County Tourism Department. We're gonna have to really put in a grassroots effort, but as the TTC, I don't know if we'll be allowed as a TTC to be able to, but individually you can. So we're really gonna have to get that educational component out on this tax, because it's not gonna tax local residents. It's just tourists and visitors that are coming to town. So,
Yes.
just keep that when people talk about this, that, it's not a tax on the locals, it's just visitors and tourists. that are- The expanding the city one and starting the county one.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, yeah, and what was interesting, Christine even brought something up pretty interesting today at the downtown St. John meeting. It's like, she's having to manually process those taxes. And she's like, we have to raise that. And so maybe part of that is like, we need to make sure that we get that mechanized through Airbnb and these other things as well, to where we can help the merchants out so that they.
And might actually bring in more money this week, because the merchants,
It really should.
yeah, the merchants that don't know how to do it, or
Right.
It's long.
or just won't, I was trying to be nice.
No, absolutely. So,
Sorry.
Thank you.
no, good.